Hi there everybody and welcome back to another episode of Prestige Liquids. My name is Andrew and in today's episode I'm going to be reviewing the Balvenie 12-year-old Doublewood. Now if you're a returning subscriber, then thank you for joining me along my journey so far. If you're new to the channel, then please consider hitting that subscribe button and also hit that bell notification so that you can stay up to date with all future content. Okay, so now that the housekeeping is out of the way, let's pour ourselves a little dram and get on with the review. Now, a lot of you would be quite familiar with Balvenie. They put out a lot of fantastic whiskies, and this 12-year-old Doublewood is definitely one of them. Now, the Balvenie distillery itself is located in Speyside. This particular single malt has an ABV of 40%, as mentioned before. It carries a 12-year-old age statement. One of the distinctive features about this particular bottling is that it has been aged in 2 casks, predominantly refill American oak for most of its maturation, and then a few months towards the end, it has also been finished off in first fill European Oloroso sherry casks. So yeah, let's see what we get out of this. So get this on the nose. Okay, so on the nose, expect a lot of vanilla. You get waves of honey that come through. It's not just a constant dominant hit of honey. It just kind of wafts through, which is really interesting. There's quite a bit of a malty note there, almost like a cereal grain. Apples, pears, very fruity. There's a bit of spice, slightly peppery. But then after that, say those apples and vanillas are very much more dominant on the nose. I think I'm picking up some berry notes. Brilliant nose. This is one of those ones that you can definitely keep exploring for quite some time. Just pour the glass, smell it straight away, put it aside, come back to it in maybe 15 minutes and see how it's changed. At that 40% ABV mark, you're definitely not getting a very strong like alcohol note from it, which is quite pleasant. It's not going to go stinging the nostrils or anything like that. It's very pleasant. But yeah, that's a very well-rounded nose, very enjoyable. Okay, so that's enough with that. Let's get onto the palate and see how we go. Again, get this. Actually, before I get onto that, I just like to say, look at that color. Now, I haven't actually looked up myself to see whether it's natural colored and all that kind of thing. There are quite a lot of videos already out there for this. I'm sure there's some other channel that has already covered that that kind of information. But yeah, that's a very nice golden syrupy color, very nice. Not so, say it's got a little bit of legs, not so much, so it's not a very oily whiskey, but yeah. All right, let's see. Now onto the palate. Okay, on the palate, those honey and vanilla notes are much more dominant than what they are on the nose. You get a reasonable mouthfeel. It's very short. You will notice that a quick coating in your mouth and then it quickly goes away. It is drying a little bit, so it makes you want to keep drinking more, so that's always a nice thing. Okay, I'm getting a lot more of that that cereal grain. Definitely very malty. This might this might sound pretty strange, but I'm kind of getting a. Now I'm going to use the word Vegemite. Now a lot of you may or may not be familiar with Vegemite. I know in the UK you guys have your own variants of it as well. But if you can imagine that that yeasty, malty characteristic of, say, Vegemite or Marmite, whatever you may have, but not in those extreme levels. It's much more tamed and mellowed down. Something that's not going to kill you. So yeah, I want to say Vegemite in a glass, okay? Don't go thinking Vegemite in a glass. That's not going to make you want to enjoy this whiskey at all. Okay, the touch of the apple still there. The apple's not as very dominant as it was in the nose, but you will get those slight orchard fruits as well. Yeah. Now, coming off the palate, getting into the finish, it's very light, very mellow. It's not going to this is not a finish that's going to punish you. I mean, this is only at 40%. But having said that, even though it is only 40%, it is a very well balanced whiskey. It gives you a lot of flavor profiles to play around with. This is a perfect introductory whiskey. So if you're looking for a whiskey for somebody to try out for the first time, or you're new on the scene and you don't know what to really go for, then I would highly recommend the Balvenie 12-year-old Doublewood. Definitely worth your dollar, and it will be something that will help you develop your palate, especially early on in the game. So yeah, Balvenie 12-year-old Doublewood, I highly recommend this one. Perfect everyday sipper if you're wanting something simple, and again, for the whiskey newbie, fantastic entry points. So we'll place that down. I think that's enough for the review. As mentioned before, my name is Andrew. Again, if you're new to the channel, then please hit the subscribe button, and then I look forward to seeing you all again on the next video. Get this.